Hi, I'm Brian, and welcome back to Boggs Bench. Today I want to talk to you about something that's becoming increasingly clear to me and kind of fun and a little bit funny, and that is the importance of asking questions and holding questions. Because of the way we like learning, we're kind of taught to ask a question, find the answer, and that's the way it is. Hold the answer, let go of the question. And what I've been learning lately indicates that that's pretty backwards. That as I have learned more about woodworking, and it's been 43 years now that I've been learning about woodworking, the more I learn, the more enjoyable it is to ask old questions again. And some of them are like, questions that a 2-year-old might ask. Whether it's the basics of how a tool works or why something works the way it does. And what I'm finding is that the dumber the question, the better. And by that, I mean the questions that we think are dumb questions, or that we label as dumb questions, are questions that have answers that have calcified so much in our brains that we wouldn't dare question that calcified answer. We learned that 40 years ago or whatever it was. But I've been looking at tool design lately, and I've got a couple of tools here that I designed long ago. This one was, I think this is close to a 40-year-old design. This is my favorite half-round spoke shave, and I really enjoy using it. I haven't found a way until really recently to change the way this would, or a spoke shave would perform. This one I designed about 25 years ago, specifically for Lee Nielsen, and I wanted it to look like their brand and work like a traditional spoke shave does. And it came out very well, and it's been successful, and you see them on other people's websites and Instagram posts from all over the world, and that's kind of fun. But I'm thinking now about what could be done that hasn't been done yet. Where are the opportunities to do something within a spoke shave that hasn't been done yet? And so the questions I'm asking that I was labeling as really stupid are like, why do we sharpen a straight blade on a flat stone? It's been done that way for millennia. It works. The Japanese craftsmen in the contests in Tokyo do incredibly precision work with a handheld blade on a handmade stone and a handmade plane body, and take shavings that are just unreally precise. So why would you want to question that at all? It's kind of done. Well, actually, I don't think we're done. I'm not done. What I've been asking is, in looking at the blade profile this way, what is the most stable shape of an edge? And I don't want to go any further down that rabbit hole because I would never come back out. The point of today's discussion, or what a monologue, I guess at this point, but hopefully it becomes a discussion through comments, is about the importance of question and what it has led me to over the years, and how it has developed my development as a craftsman, or allowed my development as a craftsman. What has happened is that lately I've noticed that when you ask questions or question old patterns, old traditions, to find out really what's behind why things are done the way they're done, it might stop making sense. And the reason is that these traditional patterns, these traditional techniques, processes, and tool designs are so entrenched, and I like the word calcified, in our psyche and our brains that we don't dare question them. And I've been doing this questioning thing, not just with tools, but with furniture, with joinery. One of the things I did many years ago was question, why don't we taper our joints like the Windsor chair makers did for centuries where the leg goes into the seat, why don't we use that taper in other joints? And I couldn't answer that question, so I started designing a tapered mortise and tenon. And this one is it's a double locking tapered tenon. And I can't take this apart even though I just pushed it together. So I'm gonna smack it and it'll come apart. But what happened was I found a joint that is actually just as easy to make as anything else. Easier, faster to assemble, is self-clamping, and is incredibly strong, much stronger than a traditional joint. And I still don't have an answer to the question, why didn't we do this a long time ago? It's not very far from what we have been doing technically, structurally, or aesthetically. So I think there's a lot of room for asking some really stupid questions about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and what else can be done. I've just been having a lot of fun lately, sort of poking my finger in traditions. And I'll be sharing with you some of the things I've been learning pretty soon. But I just want you to consider the value of questions and the value of holding them and letting them lead you wherever they go, rather than throwing answers at them like spaghetti at the wall, or using traditional understanding to answer them. I hope you have as much fun with that as I have had, and I hope it leads you to something that you wouldn't have otherwise thought of. But questions, that's where it's at.